How to draw cartoons with John-Marc.
All right, let's begin the lesson, and I will be using a large 11 by 17 paper, as you can see. And this is just a quick little sketch of working on some thumbnails ideas of like a stream and houses and landscaping in the background. But I have a couple little different formats of the thumbnail box. So this was just a traditional letterbox size, as you can see. And I have right now working on like a river coming around the corner with stone walls around it, some trees, and I'm thinking about quick little houses, like a chalet. So when doing these sketches, as you can see, they're never totally complete, but they're just getting your ideas out. So, and the other thing also is composition and showing the foreground, midground, and background, as well as just being creative with your ideas. What I did here, this house on the far right, which you can't see, is cropped out, and that's intentional. You don't have to have everything in the picture all the time when storytelling. So here we go. A little bit in the background, more houses, more in the back. Yep, yep, yep. All right, this is where the water is, and some trees there. And another one over here, just quick random. Maybe if there's like a little rocks, grass sticking up here and there. The house. All right, so that one was a quick one to just get all flushed out, the first one. And let's begin with the next one. Just think in my head right now, the background, having a house in the middle maybe, or is it a barn? That could be a possibility right there too. You could have a house and a barn together. And over here, let's see. Let's just make a door and some windows for right now. It could be a barn with windows for that matter. All right, so where is the stream going to be flowing from here? Let's see, let's see. Kind of figure, I'm still working on my thoughts on here. So here we go, here we go. I'm going to have one all the way around here and another one maybe on the other side. Not so sure. Yeah, so the houses, yeah, I'm thinking right now that would be more, a lot darker in the background. I'm just going to make like a little shed of some sort, like if it was a little shed right there. And a fence right here coming around the corner. I like making fences because that perspective draws your eyes from the foreground to the background. And that's the other thing when working at composition. It's always great to help your eye to move around through the page. So if this was like layout for a kid's book or for a video game or for a cartoon series, these are really quick thumbnails, very, very quick thumbnails. Some close-up of pine trees in the foreground there. All right, for this side, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to be doing like length, so it's like top to bottom, so you can like pan, zooming up or zooming down. The hills over on the top here, and the river going up around to the bottom here. And what I'm doing is I'm cropping it outside the visual area, so you don't have to keep the river always inside. High mountains in the background there. I'm putting a little house off the side of the thumbnails. Again, cropping that out again. A little corner of a chimney stack there maybe, and at the top of the roofs. There you go. Just shading in really quick for that window. So here's another little house on this side, a little one in the distance. So again, playing up with the size of objects is very critical to give you that distance feel. Narrow, close up, and far away. In this case here, like having a house over here, just getting cropped off. So you're just going to see like the roof, basically, the only thing you're going to see. And it's really great. When you're using your imagination and creativity, figure on those type of camera angles and those shots that could be really cool. Like it leads your eye here and the river moving from the back and guiding your eyes all the way to the back mountains there. Now that's the key thing in composition and actually helping your storytelling in this case. This could be easily for like a for a commercial or TV show, even for a video game, simple concepts like that. The mountains in the background there, and I'm just going to shade that in the back. And even for a kid's book, thinking of that, you could easily do a digital kid's book where you're just viewing that small window on the bottom and you're just zooming in or zooming out in that case. Yeah, let's put some trees now in the far distance. Back there, some more rocks here, and what's the grass here, the door here. All right, what else am I seeing? What else? I'm thinking over here, maybe some dirt, a little bucket for like the water. If this was like the medieval times. All right, like a little box here. Maybe they store the wood inside there. All right, what else? What else? Okay, let's see, some stones in between. All right, anything. All right, so I feel good with that one. Now, this one I'm going to do, once again, like a letter box. So this one could be panning left and right instead of up and down like the other one. Now, this one I'm going to have in my head really quick, like a little island or a tall hill in the middle. This is a long valley in the background, some high peaks in the distance, really, really far back in distance there, and have one little house, or is it like a hut of some sort smack in the middle.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And now, back to our show.
And the water be running around it. So this would be like the mountains. This little mountain house would be really close, and that would be like the valleys in the mid ground, and the mountains way, 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 way in the background there. And this is just a little quick house right now. Again, even though I make this house here, this house could totally look different. You could change it. Maybe it could be like castle in that case. Yeah, I'm making these little fences on the side again as you start off a little far distance, make them small, more like a cliff edge. I'm thinking now, more of a cliff edge here. And distance over here. Oh, you know what? It could be a rope bridge here. Maybe a rope bridge. Yeah. So this could be like a rope bridge. All right. All right, in the distance, that's where that river is all the way down there. That's really far away. So the house with the rope bridge is in front, really close, and these the river in between there is really small. Distance back and the hilltops. Okay, what else? Some more trees, some rocks. So in this case here, I'm just going to make the trees really, really different shapes and size. I'm going to give them a tone. So maybe in this case, the trees could be even blurry, so they're not in focus visually. So when you're drawing it naturally, but when you're coloring it, give it a soft feathered Gaussian blur to it. Even though you can just still do this on the computer, try to do it digitally if you're trying to work on that one. And little trees further away. So here's some more mountains. Just going to shade that in really harsh, because if it was like sunset or sun rising, the mountains would be really dark. Some clouds in the background. Yeah, this is looking good. I like that. A little bit the grass area. I'm just going to shade that in there. The poles. Yeah. All right. So as you can see here, I have a couple different formats for this visual in this case. And let's go a little bit further on the bottom now. Let's do some like if I had like an entrance way to one of those towns. So this would be like a little pillar where you walk through, and it would be covered on the top with shingles, and you can even have flowers draping up and down on the side of it if you wanted to, a little thick. So this is the entrance way right there. That's a cutout there. And I'm just giving some maybe two tones on there. If there was like a beam stuck on the side there, it's made out of cement or stones. And the top there. All right, and that's looking good. Yeah, so you can have like a sign over here, or a crest of the family that lives there, a little sign of a message. Okay, all right. So okay, now next, maybe some type of a bird bath, or like a light post, like if it was with torch on it. I'm thinking. Sometimes you just draw things and you don't know what you're drawing until you get going at the same time. All right, so much for that one. Let me just get the top of the roof. So in my vision here, this helps lay out the type of shingles that you may look at. So when you're doing thumbnails, sometimes you break out and you do these a little tighter illustrations. Not to say that these are tight, but they're still very, very loose. So if you're trying to explain it to your boss or to a client, you can say the rooftops could have shingles that look like this. Throughout all those thumbnails, I didn't have to do that. Just doing this one down here would be enough for them to have that understanding and illustration in their head. And on the side here, the overhang, so the shingles would be like popping up a little bit, overlapping. All right, I'm just going to shade that in there to give it like that's underneath the shingles. It's going to drop down the building a little bit, like that was shading there too. So here on the bottom with the last bit of drawing, I will actually do a little bit tighter and tighter stuff. So maybe if this was made out of brick and the bricks are falling apart, or or the cement, you might have cracks or bricks or stones showing through. In that case, like I'm going to make a little window here and a window right there, and just shade that in really dark. Really dark. It's just a pressure point. As you can see, this is sketching still, as you see all my other lessons that I share with. Here's a little tree, whimsical tree. So if it was a pine tree, it could be totally full, or it could be those branch pine trees where it's like you see more of the totem pole type of the pole, the center pole, and then throughout the rest of the tree, you're just having little pine needles. All right, and here we go here. What else? I got a little stones here and there. I like making stones as well as drawing trees. I'm just giving some feel to it again. So when you show it to the person, they can kind of feel, oh, this is out, what, if it's out west, or is it more like in the mountains or in the country, you would have that feel to it. And you're just sketching out some final thoughts. All right, so what else can I do here? Maybe around the visual, I'm thinking like a lot of grass, a lot of flowers, what type of flowers that you can have laying around there. Again, this is just whatever comes to your mind or creativity, just knock it out. And that's just like a little mental note for you. So when you have to do the next one, you can easily jump onto this one and you know everything that you might have been thinking. Not everything, of course. All right, here's some little flowers. Yeah, I think I'm just about done with this one for right now. So with this thumbnail, as well as the other ones, as you can see, when you do them, feel free to use your imagination, change the angles, change the perspective, and have the cropping as well. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and have a great day.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And now, back to our show.
Hey everyone, today I'm super excited to share a fun lesson on how to draw a cartoon rock. I'll kick things off by using my blue pencil to create a sketch, then I'll clean it up a bit to make it look nicer. After that, I'll show you some quick steps for how I colored it in. Just a heads up, this is still a rough sketch and a fast coloring job, so don't hesitate to let your imagination run wild and add your personal flair. I'd love for you to share your artwork with others too. And if you want, why not invite your friends to join in next time? It'll be so much fun to create together. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing and creative day.